I'm recording this video in the middle of the year, so there's still around 5 months to go till the Ballon d'Or is decided. I'm doing this at the end of the season because I think it makes just perfect sense. That's when honestly the Ballon d'Or should be given out. But as we know, it's an annual thing, and so far as things are going, it seems that Lionel Messi is leading the charge to win his 7th Ballon d'Or. And if that were to be the case, then I think that, well, that's how all perfect stars should be aligned, because I think he's the best player in the world, and if the award is for that, then he should be given. But there are still some few things, there are some players in its way that I think could be mounting a challenge to dethrone him in a way. And that's what we're gonna be covering in today's video. The one thing that is stopping Lionel Messi from winning that very also precious 7th Ballon d'Or. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. And just before starting off, I just have to let you know that we have a podcast on the works that is called the Engine Room Podcast. You can find it right now on Spotify. We already are on our 5th, 4th episode, depending on when you're watching this video. So all links are going to be in the description down below. So go there, check it out, and let's get back into the video, which is basically what you came here for. So I want to give you a little bit of context as to what constitutes to the best player, because as we know, the Ballon d'Or is a very controversial thing, because for instance, for some, we may say that the criteria relies on the best player. So simply the guy or women who plays the best football. In the case of the male division, well, we have basically Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Robert Lewandowski, whoever you want to name it, who for you, in your opinion, is literally the best human being at playing football. That should be the one selected for this award. In my opinion, that would be Lionel Messi, because for me, he just oozes talent with every ball that he touches. For me, he's perhaps the most consistent footballer every single time, and he doesn't need any sort of training to reach his top level. He just has this natural talent every single time, and for me that is something that is just kind of very good evidence to tell you of how good this player really is. But for others is the achievements, and it's what they have been able to surmount in that year specifically. If this was an award per se, how the Academy Awards work with movies per se for Best Picture, then it will make also sense to give it to the player who had the best performances through that annual year. So through those 12 months, the guy who actually did the best in terms of those collective awards. So be that a top goal scorer, be that winning the Champions League, be that winning the most trophies. What we need to discuss then is that criteria. The criteria that I'm going to be defining these players is because of their annual performance. Because best players is very simple. That will be just basically giving the award to Messi every single year. But we have to talk about what they do in this year, in this 12th calendar period. And that is a different thing. So number 5, I'm going to go with a probably big surprise for some of you, and that is Romelu Lukaku. I think that Lukaku has been an absolute revelation this year, and I think that this season that he's had with Inter de Milan will really put his name up there with the top elite of players in European football, particularly being the top goal scorer in Serie A, and also allowing him to beat Juventus to that Serie A trophy. I think that that is something that will elevate his name a little bit more than someone like Cristiano Ronaldo per se for this particular list. And on top of that, we can say that he has also beaten Ronaldo's Portugal in the Euro of 2020, and if he also continues to have a very good season for the start of this 2021-2022 campaign with Inter de Milan under Simeone Inzaghi, well, then there is all due respect a very good candidacy here for Lukaku to take its mantle and its campaign further forward. I think that Lukaku is a very good player and someone that we must look out for, because I really do think that he's slowly improving and has found a place for him right now to settle at Inter de Milan. Something that we must also add is that if Lukaku is able to win the Nations League final with Belgium, that could potentially add an extra notch to this candidacy and completely settle him into the top 5 position. So of course, I think that this is a name that for me is up there in the top 5. I'll be interested to see if you even name him around your top 5, but for me, Lukaku this year has been up there with the best. So well then, at number 4 I have put N'Golo Kanté, and Kanté is one of those players that had been racking up some momentum just before the Euros, well, before France was knocked out in very, I'll say, humiliating fashion by Switzerland in the round of 16. And I think that if Kanté was able to reach the final in the Euros and potentially win the competition, he could be further up this list. But before that, even when he won the UCL, and he was instrumental not only to get Chelsea to win the competition, to win the European tournament, but also to get them in incredible fashion by being the man of the match in the most decisive moments, in the final, in the semi-finals, I would say, in the home and away leg against Real Madrid. For me, that is a monumental achievement, and that is one thing that cements Kanté, I think, in contrast to other midfielders that may be here on this list. I think that those individual performances are something that really make him stand out in comparison to the rest, and that is something that we must not really underestimate of someone like him. But that competition, that Euros, that was underwhelming, and that is something that is going to go against him, and I don't think that there is anything else that could go in the favor of Kanté to get him closer to the Ballon d'Or than he currently is in, I'll say, the first half of the next season. So that is why he will be just staying, in my opinion, at this number 4 spot. At number 3, I'm gonna be going with an outside shout, and one that potentially some of you are gonna be surprised about, but the media, the bookies, just basically the entire world of football is kind of trying to make a campaign for this guy, and that is Jorginho. Jorginho is that player who is kind of like the Varane that I mentioned, the player who won the UCL with Chelsea and managed to win the Euros this time around with Italy. He's the only player who has been able to do both. And I think that that is good enough for him to be up here in the top 3. Has he been instrumental for both? I'll say yeah. Was he the most decisive player? Maybe not so, but he has been a key player for the systems that both managers decided to play. Be that Thomas Tuchel with Chelsea or be that Mancini with Italy, Jorginho was a key piece to what they were trying to build, and he was a player that played all of the games up there to the final stages of the tournaments. So that is something that we must not really underestimate. I think that Jorginho also been instrumental to sort of the creation of plays, could be now something that is garnering more of a sort of popularity around different fan bases, because it's sort of kind of football is, there's a hipstery thing about now that you just want to look at the players that perhaps before didn't have the sort of recognition that someone like Jorginho could have anticipated. I think that Jorginho doesn't have the name that potentially can carry him to win a Ballon d'Or like this one, but I mean, if we are going basically by just achievements and what he has been able to collect so far, he does deserve to be up here in the top 3. I think that in contrast to, for instance, what Modric was able to do in 2018, he did have that name to carry him to here. He had already racked up so many Champions League with Real Madrid. He had already built a track record that cemented this Ballon d'Or, well, that Ballon d'Or at that stage, kind of like the cherry on top. But Jorginho doesn't have that, and that's why for me he's just staying here at number 3. And now, guys, this is where I have, for me, the biggest problem, the biggest controversy, the biggest debate in my head. And that is either going on number 2 with Lionel Messi or Robert Lewandowski. I'm going to go with Robert Lewandowski in number 2. But for me, I think that there's a very big chance that potentially he could be the guy to dethrone Messi for this Ballon d'Or. And let me explain why. I think that Robert Lewandowski so far this year is the player to have enjoyed potentially the best individual campaign. He's a Golden Shoe winner. He has scored 34 goals. He has won the Bundesliga, the Club World Cup, the DFB Pokal. He has been, not the DFB Pokal, the other one. I have absolutely no idea what it's called in Germany, but I know it's the other one. He has been absolutely unstoppable when it comes to scoring goals. His goals per 90-minute ratio is out of this world. It's better than Messi. We can say that. It's better than Messi. And on top of that, he's coming back from a treble winning season that didn't have the possibility to garner a Ballon d'Or basically because of the pandemic. And I think that even though it wouldn't be fair for this season to attribute what happened last year, I think that for a competition like this, for an award ceremony like the Ballon d'Or, I'm not sure about this, guys, but I do think, and I'm not agreeing with this, but I think that the people running this show will say that potentially that counts. And I think that they'll be kind of thinking that, you know what, Lewandowski was clearly miles ahead of everyone else last year, and he should have won the Ballon d'Or last season, and he kind of deserved the Ballon d'Or last season. But this year, it might be kind of a little bit too late for that. But still, it's not at the same level that, of course, they were, because Chelsea won the Champions League this season. Bayern Munich struggled in the Cup. They didn't manage to win the treble like they did with Hansi Flick. But Lewandowski is coming out of that incredible season. And I think that that might be something in the kind of at the back of the head of the people thinking for this award. That maybe the emotion, simply the emotion, maybe carrying through, and for some that may be enough to vote for Lewandowski instead of someone for Lionel Messi. Some people that have the possibility to vote for this award are going to be thinking, Messi has so many Ballon d'Ors and Lewandowski last season deserved that award, so maybe I should vote for him. And that for me is the one thing stopping Lionel Messi from winning this award. But if I'm trying to be as objective as possible, I think that Lionel Messi does in fact deserve, if we're just focusing on what has happened this season, I do think that he does deserve it, and here's why. 33 goals, 14 assists, 1 Copa del Rey, and 1 Copa America. Lionel Messi has finally won an international tournament with his national team in Argentina, and I think that's massive. But on top of that, I do think that this marks kind of like an end of the saga of Messi of his entire career, and I think that Ballon d'Or number 7 would be the perfect kind of way to end it. I know that, of course, Barcelona's renewal is up there right now in the air, and it may come or not, but I think that it will come. But the fact is that Messi right now is unattached. He doesn't have a single club. And even though Messi might not, let's say, do enough still to be able to garnish himself a possibility to win the Ballon d'Or number 7 between 2021 and 2022, I do think that what he has done last season so far at the moment of recording this video, it's good enough to win it. Because he has been the best player by far in a crumbling Barcelona. He has demonstrated he has been capable enough to dethrone, to topple a dictatorship at a single club. He has shown that he has more power in himself as a human being than as a footballer, and I think that speaks volumes. And on top of that, he has been able to cap it off in a spectacular fashion, giving a maracanazo and beating Brazil at their own stadium and their own nation in a tournament that should have gone for their own. And I think that's pretty big. I really, really do think so. Not only that, but he was player of the tournament in La Copa America and also Golden Boot winner in La Copa America. And if you translate all of those individual statistics of players in that tournament, you find that Messi is on top of the charts on every single one. And take that to the Euros, and not a single player is able to do that, to replicate that sort of form. Not a single player is able to fall again in more than one category itself. Not the top goal scorer is the same top assister. Not the same player with the most progressive passes is the same player with the most attacking contributions. That's something to really just wow yourself. Messi took that incredible form that he had for Barcelona in his club kind of career this season, club campaign, and take it to that international level. And that just seamlessly shows that he is capable of of magical moments. And if you're able to give Ronaldo a Ballon d'Or in the year where he won the Euros, where they won the Champions League, which okay was fine, but then after that they didn't want anything else, I think that it kind of replicates what sort of Messi is doing right now. I think that Messi does deserve this Copa America, and if we are thinking, well, does deserve this Ballon d'Or, if we are looking at same sort of stature of what the Copa America and Euros is, then he does deserve it. If you think that on paper they weigh the same thing, then Messi does deserve it. Then he does deserve it. But it's up to the people that vote. It's up to the people to decide whether that is enough from all of the things that Lewandowski have been doing for almost 2 years now. So I don't know about you guys. What would you do? Would you vote for Messi? Would you vote for Lewandowski? There's still more kind of 5 months to go. But that will be my vote. My vote will be, of course, for Lionel Messi to take home his 7th Ballon d'Or by the end of this year. That's gonna be everything for right now, guys. Hope you have enjoyed. Be sure to let me know in the comment box down below what do you think of this video, and remember to check out our latest videos as well as our new episode of our Engine Room podcast. Links are gonna be in the description down below. Listen to us now on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and many other platforms. And yeah, basically that's gonna be it. Hopefully you enjoy a very nice day, and I see you in the next one. Take care. Ciao, ciao.